When you're learning motivational interviewing, you can quickly see how applicable these skills can be in so many areas. Oftentimes, training participants will use some practice opportunities with motivational interviewing with friends and families. And I have heard for years people make comments about some of the benefits to this practice, as well as ask me questions such as, do you teach this for the layperson? Because my fill in the blank aunt, cousin, mother, sister, brother could really use this in communicating with their fill in the blank brother, son, cousin, etc. We can really struggle with staying in this role of more reflective and supportive and evocative ways of being with people especially when they are close to us and we have a vested interest in those outcomes. And there are some elements of motivational interviewing that can be really applicable in these relationships. So let me break it down a little bit to you. The spirit of motivational interviewing. Number one, the spirit of motivational interviewing can be useful in relationships when we are striving to be compassionate and curious instead of judgmental. We are striving to demonstrate empathy instead of sort of assuming that we know or getting bossy or telling people what to do, and practicing using collaboration and partnership and evocation over kind of imparting information or persuading or again telling people what to do. So those spirit elements of motivational interviewing can be brought to a lot of relationships to some really beneficial outcomes. I recently met and connected up with another member of the MENT, Motivational Interviewing Network of Trainers, named Jennifer, who has already created a course and written a book on using motivational interviewing with teens. And I will link that information in the chat below. So back to number two, benefits of MI or applications of MI in relationships with friends and family is the OR skills. We can use the OR skills. They are just straight up great communication skills with anyone that we're talking with. So providing reflections, reflective listening, asking open-ended questions, providing affirmations and summaries. Those can be really helpful kind of across relationships. Especially they can help us when we are in relationship with people that we are really wanting to kind of just jump in there and tell them what to do. And it would be helpful for us to practice reflective listening and sort of stay out of it a bit more, right? We're not trying to not get into that directive style of communication when we're using elements of MI. And the third thing that we can utilize with friends and family is this element of motivational interviewing around change talk, listening for what is it that this other person wants to change and what is their motivations for change around that? How can we catch that and reflect that back to them? So one final kind of comment that I have on using motivational interviewing, elements of motivational interviewing with friends and family, is that motivational interviewing is not a skill set to manipulate people into getting them to do what you want them to do. And many people will say that you can't use MI when you have a personal vested interest in the outcome of that conversation, such as is often the case with children and family members. Jennifer in her book and myself in this brief little thing have highlighted some of the elements of motivational interviewing that we can use in those conversations. Again, we are not doing this to manipulate them. We are doing this to engage and explore and help them resolve their ambivalence for change around a specific thing. All right, check out her resources. She's got some good stuff, and I hope y'all take care. Let me know how you use elements of MI with friends and family if you'd like.